Have you finished drawing up your site specifications? Have you started looking for a freelancer or web agency to develop your e-commerce site? There are a lot of service providers out there, and it's not always easy to know which one to choose. Here's our advice for this essential step in moving your project forward. Tip number 1. Decide on your e-commerce software. What e-commerce software will I use to develop my store? This is the question to ask when choosing a developer. Even if they take care of all the technical aspects of the setup, once your site is finished, you'll need to quickly master the interface in order to use the e-commerce program every day. To help you choose, take a look at the different programs on the market. Compare these criteria: ease of use, number of features, costs involved, the size of the community. PrestaShop is a free software with a simple interface, more than 600 native features, and is proud to support a very active community of more than 1 million members. Tip number 2. Assess their experience. Your developer's experience should be a decisive factor in your choice, especially if you don't have any technical knowledge yourself. Whoever you choose should be able to quickly get up to speed on your project and give you advice about technical decisions. Make sure the person also has e-commerce experience. Developing an e-commerce site requires different skills than those necessary to developing a traditional website. The developer needs to be able to build an effective purchasing funnel, promote your products, and offer optimized navigation, for example. Ask to see sites they have recently created, references or customer testimonials. It's a good way to visualize their work without getting lost in any technical jargon. Tip number 3. Define the contract. To avoid unpleasant surprises, you should agree on the contract with the developer ahead of time. Here are some points that should in no case be left out. Determine extra charges. To determine what extra charges might apply, ask for a detailed quote with what is and what is not included, hosting, design, additional modules, and so on. Use reverse planning. It is essential that the developer provide you with a reverse planning schedule to identify the different steps in your project and set the timeframes to complete each one. Establish a procedure for joint approval before moving on to the next step. Reverse planning will help you make sure your project is being properly completed and will limit delivery delays. Maintenance. Once your site is online, you might have technical problems or additional requests, so be sure to ask about the maintenance plan that your developer offers, particularly price and duration. Ownership. Clearly identify yourself as the owner of the site, including ownership of the domain name and hosting. Tip number 4. Establish clear communications. It's essential to oversee the progress of your project, but this can lead to conflicts with your developer if the terms of communication are not established ahead of time and approved by both parties. If you're in the same geographic area, you can set up regular face-to-face meetings or use phone, email, or web conferences if it is difficult to meet in person. Tip number 5. Understand your provider's development skills. In your specifications, you'll need to identify all the details you want on your site so that the developer can ensure they have the skills to implement them. Don't forget that the developer or web agency will build your site based on the instructions you provide, so make sure you provide as much detail as possible in your specifications. Tip number 6. Check site performance. Now that you've cleared up a lot of the key points with your developer, do you think the result will be what you want? You'll still need to ensure that your store's performance is optimized to provide a good browsing experience for your users. To do this, check the following points. Is your site optimized for mobile? Browsing and purchasing on smartphones and tablets is now widespread, so it's essential for your site to be optimized for mobile devices. This is called responsive design. Does the site load quickly enough? The developer must be able to optimize your store's performance to avoid slow loading. A slow page load time can stop customers from making purchases and bring down your conversion rate. One way to partially check this is to determine what kind of hosting will be used. This will depend on the scale of your project and the size of your e-commerce site. Dedicated or semi-dedicated hosting is suitable for large projects as opposed to shared hosting, which is generally chosen for smaller sites. Tip number 7. Don't forget SEO. When you give your project to a developer, their work does not end when your e-commerce site is created. They must also make it appear in search results and work on SEO with you. Make sure you ask for information about their strategy and the expected results. Tip number 8. Ask for help getting started with your store. At the end of the project, the developer will give you the login information for your store, and you will have to learn how to manage your business on a daily basis and change elements like images and text. To ensure you know how to use the software, you can ask for a demonstration or even a training if your developer or the software company offers it. Tip number 9. Know the analytical tools available to you. You'll need to analyze your store's performance every day to improve your business. To do this, ask the developer to show you what key performance indicators are available in your back office, and don't forget to link your store to a Google Analytics account with a tracking code. Tip number 10. Know how they test. Every developer has to run tests. Best practices include testing your store in a dedicated testing environment and not using your production site, keeping logs of the tests and changes made, performing tests on different mobile devices and browsers. To conclude, take the time to check out several developers, even if you already know some people who could do the job. This advice will help you compare providers and get guaranteed results, even if you don't have any technical skills. For more information on starting your online business, subscribe to our YouTube channel and discover our e-commerce software. Thanks for watching and happy selling!